Hello everybody, welcome back to Getting Artsy with Cindy. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. We are going to do a really fun fold today. This was inspired by Shruti Patel, and I'm not sure if I said her name wrong or right, so I apologize. But I saw this little fun fold and I thought I've got to share it with you guys. I think you're going to really enjoy this. And then when you pull these little, pull it this way, pull these little ribbons, it opens up and then it opens up again. So this is what we're going to learn to do today. So we're going to need a scoreboard out. I've got a couple brads that we're going to use here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to move this up here and just to get you started. One thing I want to share with you guys is when I do some different fun folds, I keep a binder, and I just kind of wanted to show you how I store it. I mark down some my template and stuff, and then I can keep all the parts in here when I'm ready to go make another card. So this is my bag of goodies, and I make a rough template. And this is something that you guys might want to do when you're first getting started, when you first try this, because it's a little bit tricky the first time until you get used to it. So this is my rough piece, and I'm going to show you, we're going to build this. But this kind of shows you how I build it, and I leave it without gluing it. Like I've marked where I'm going to put glue on this side. I show you where you're going to put some glue. I mark these so that you know this is going to be on the left side and this is going to be on this side. So I know this is like really crazy, but I want to show you that when you're building something like this, you want to know, a month from now when you go back and build another one, this is going to help me remember what direction things go. So make one of these little fun templates, or just this little mock-up, and keep your instructions handy so that you can then go back and make it again. So to start, again, these are some of the measurements we're going to use. The main piece of paper, we're going to build our main piece out of this green cardstock. You're going to want to use 12 by 12 cardstock to start with. So the main first base of this piece is going to be 12 inches wide by 5 inches deep. And then we're going to score it at 4 inches and 8 inches. So this is the base of your card. So let's go ahead and score this first. I just pulled out the small scoreboard just because it's handy, and just to show you don't have to have a big one to do this. So I'm going to score it at 4 inches and then 8 inches, but all we have to do is flip this around and score it at 4 again. And then you're going to fold that. And you're going to fold one of them up and the other one back. So flip this over and fold this back on itself. So you have created a Z. So that's the main part of your card. So go ahead and jot that down. We'll move this out of the way. Then we're going to cut some other pieces. The cover panel is 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I've cut this for that. We're going to use that piece. I've got some pieces that we're going to use to decorate. This piece, we're going to cut 6 of these. This is what's going to decorate all of our little mini flaps. So I'm using our Merry and Bright collection, and I love it because it's got so many fun sides and they go together really well. So I've already cut these down to that size. I'm going to use these for the panels. I went ahead and layered one up for the inside where I'm going to leave a place for you to write a sentiment. So I haven't decided exactly where I'm going to place these, but I have them ready for myself. Okay, so that's this piece here. Then to create the pockets, you're going to cut, this piece is 6 1/4 by 3 3/4, and then we're going to score this at 2 3/4. So I've got 2 pieces here that are cut to that size. So here I have it marked. You're going to cut 2 of those. So now let's score these. So the first one. All right. So we've got one folded, and we're going to just give that a nice crease. Okay, so we've got one of them, and then 2 3/4. So you can see it's got a short fold here, a short piece. Okay, now I want to add, the other thing I want to do is cut 2 of these little pieces here. It's just 5/8 of an inch by 3 5/8 inches. This is this little panel piece right here. So I've already cut that. I've used this stripe paper, and we're going to, if I keep this folded, that is going to give me the placement for these little strips. So I'm just going to leave that down, and then this is going to center in that space. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to build this. Before I add all the extra panels, I want to kind of build it, because these panels fold up and around, and I don't want you to put something that's directional and end up having it upside down. So what we're going to do is build these pieces first. This is going to be my cover, and just so I remember, I'm just going to write cover on here, because I'm going to cover that up. So this is how it's going to fold. The first panel is going to be in the center, and what I want to do is mark this with a pen. So I'm going to mark it I'm going to mark it, center it from here and center it from this direction. So I'm just using my ruler, and I'm going to make a little dot right in the center of that. So we should be good. And good. Okay. I'm using the really small hole punch. This is for the brad. You can, if you don't have one of these little teeny ones, so you can see it's that really small dot. If you don't have one of the teeny ones, you can use a bigger one, but then you have to use a bigger brad. If it's a bigger hole, it's just going to wiggle around more, but you can, it'll still work if that's all you have. I just kind of like this little teeny one for brads. We're going to, I'm going to flip this around. So here, my cover's going over there. This first one is going to attach to this panel. Again, this is where my cover is. So this first one is going to attach here. And what I'm going to do is line this up right along the edge. Make another little dot in there. So here's the other dot. I'm going to go ahead and punch this hole. All right. Then I can take one of my brads. And just open that up. So here's the first one. It's going to be able to spin around. The next one, now you're going to flip it over again, this is where, here's your cover. You're going to flip it over. So now you're in the center panel. The first one is attached to the left side. Now we want to attach one to the right side. But we've now flipped it over so that it's going to attach over here. Okay, so I'm going to line this up to the edge. And there's my dot. Make a little mark. Let's punch your hole. Okay. Now this time we're going to attach it to this side. Okay, so I'm going to fold it up, and before I glue anything, I want to make sure that the pockets are kind of, or the little pieces are going to be in the right spot. So when I spin this around, because I was able to do it, I centered it. When you spin it around, this is where you want to check yourself. Make sure that that door, the little flap, will open. So that one works. So we'll slide that bit back in. Slide the other one out. Just check yourself. Make sure that that's going to open and close. And we're in good shape so far. Again, this is why I don't do anything until I've checked myself. All right. Now we could go ahead and start gluing this down. So I'm going to take my ruler and just draw a line in here. The key to where you put your glue, you don't want to cover this whole thing with glue, because as this spins around, it might touch that glue. So because I drew my little line here, the key is just to make sure that that corner doesn't touch that piece. Then I can close that. Okay, make sure that's down. Again, this is going to spin out, which is awesome. Does not get stuck by the glue. Okay, now the next side for this piece, we're going to open this up and we want to glue this down to here. Now you have a brad here that you want to be able to spin. So to make sure that that does not get glued shut and that you have an issue you have an issue with opening and shutting it, I'm going to draw my line here, but I'm going to make sure that I don't put glue in the middle where this brad is going to be. So we're going to just put glue here and here. Okay, so you see where I put that glue, and make sure that that's not going to touch it. And now I can seal that closed. Okay, we're in good shape so far. So let's go ahead and open up these pieces. Spin this around. Okay, now it's going to get really fun. Let's start decorating. So for the first panel on the cover, I'm just going to center in there. Okay, and then I went ahead and layered another piece up. Okay, there's that. And then we'll finish decorating this afterwards. Now that you have this laid out, this is going to help you figure out what pieces you want where. I think that keeps it not so busy. And then let's add, we'll do this bird on this side. So you know I like to pop a bunch of stuff up. I'm always popping things up. But because these little pockets have to slide inside, I wouldn't do a lot of dimension on these pieces that slide in, but I did put some foam tape on the pieces for the cover. All right, so for the ribbon, the ribbon is in two different places. We have one up here and one down here. So before I put these panels on, I needed to add the ribbon, but I think we can still, because I just used that tape, I think we can pick it up and still add it. So let's go ahead and we're going to put some glue right here and add one side. And then I can close that back down. All right. And then we're going to pick this side up. Again, do this before you add these pieces. My bad. Okay. But what you need to do, and I'll show you this on my other piece, it's going to flip over. Has to flip. And I'll show you an easier way to do that after I get this down. Okay. The glue stick. So when it's closed, it's flat like this. And I will do it on my little, I'm going to show you on here since I didn't do it there first. Okay, when you have your panel open, before you put the panels on, sorry, I made a mistake here. You're going to take your ribbon. Let's undo this. Okay, you're going to glue that piece down. Then you're going to take your ribbon, fold it in half so it's lined up here. And then let's move this out of the way so you can really see. So when it's, again, you're going to glue that piece down, fold the ribbon in half, and then put your glue on top of the ribbon while it's folded. And then when you close that panel, push down to make sure it stays glued. When you open it up, it's in place perfectly. So fix the problem. And okay, so there we've got, and then you just open it like this. And again, you can just keep adding, like here we've added this little sentiment. You've got a little stamped image here. So you can have so much fun with this. I think it's really fun. So the other thing I want to remind you guys about is we have our new text message program. So if you have not already signed up, you can text Dare to Be Artsy to 1-866-4732-6742. There it is. So for those text messages, we're going to have, sometimes we'll have an exclusive discount. You'll get to see some sneak peeks and what else? Just share some artsy inspiration with you through text. So I hope you guys had fun today and have an artsy week. Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye.